So, what other challenges and solutions are you seeing and wanting to talk about in this conversation in solving the growth of this mid-market CNI community solar segment, which seems to be trailing vis-a-vis the utility and the residential market. So, what needs to change for that segment to grow faster?
Yeah,
And it is still growing, but
it's still growing. I mean, we think we really expect the market to double once, if not twice, in the next probably not even 10 years. So we think there's a lot of growth to be had by the middle market, the CNI and community solar market. One just anecdote I'll share that doesn't directly answer your question yet. We, through working with a lot of CNI installers and developers, there's not a ton of overlap in people who are doing a lot of CNI projects and ones who are doing community solar. There's some, but there's a lot of overlap in CNI installers with residential installers. And we're hearing that the shift of their, the revenues they bring in from, the last couple of years to like this year used to be 50-50 or 60-40 slanting on the residential side. And now like it's, 80-20 commercial, 90-10 commercial, just focusing a lot more on the commercial side.
And these are markets outside of California. I know if you said that was California, I would understand because things are changing quite rapidly with net metering 3.0 in California. But wow, also outside of California, you're seeing that, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we're hearing it anecdotally. We don't, we don't see their books, but we're hearing a lot of people coming to us saying, hey, we're looking to shift more into the CNI market. Obviously, there's still a ton of really strong resi, developers, installers out there, but that seems to be a trend. So one of the barriers to growth, and just I guess one of the things that we really focus on to talk about is the challenge of developing and financing community solar projects is hard. It takes a certain skill set. It takes a lot of expertise. It takes patience and thick skin because, as I'm sure you can attest to, I know of a lot of projects that took longer and cost more than expected. I don't know too many projects that came in quicker and were cheaper than expected.
That's the nature of developing anything, I guess.
Yeah. So you got to have thick skin. But thinking about some of these larger community solar projects, it can be, it can take $200,000, not even including interconnection costs, just to get a project ready to construct. Going through an interconnection process, getting the site control, dealing with some legal, some permitting, some environmental stuff, a lot of engineering. So it can be really expensive. And what we come across is a lot of needs for support in that $200,000, either getting it ready to construct, or then once it's permitted and ready to start construction, finding a financial partner to fund and own and operate that. And I think what we found is that it really is so important to be clear on the roles and responsibilities of the different parties. And so if somebody's looking for a financial partner, are they looking for just a financial partner, or do they also want their expertise in development and legal and engineering, or none of the above? And everybody wants a different flavor of it. So teasing out those details is really important, and doing that in a way that helps you compare your options in a more apples to apples way is, I think, really important. Those industries had trouble doing, because at least one of my favorite topics, and we wrote a blog post on this a year or so ago. We've realized that across the country, everyone speaks a different dialect of solar. The resi people, the CNI people, the community solar people, they all have different dialects. And then the California ones, the people doing small projects, large projects, Midwest. Anyways, there's like all these things that you can say. We heard somebody today mention, they were just talking about their solar project, and they were saying we got NTP from the utility. And when I hear that, like, I think, okay, great, like notice procedure, fully developed, permitted, all this stuff, and just wasn't the way they thought about things. And they explained it, and they were actually closer to where my head was at than not. But it goes to say, like, they could say that, I could hear it, and I think, great, the project's ready to go. And they're like, well, no, I'm just talking about this one piece. And we see that all the time. And there's like, you know, we're not gonna be Rosetta Stone for mid-market solar, but there's, I mean, that causes so much friction, and experiences, right? Like if your experience has been working on small cash deals and all of a sudden you get this like small 100 kW cash deals and you get this 1 megawatt community solar opportunity, like you're working with a totally different counterparty and financing, and the depth of it and heft of it is so different from what you're used to. Anyways, like
so what you're saying is you're wishing that there was some standard way of doing these projects, perhaps.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here, Karim. Yeah. Much more standardized way.
Airbnb way of renting a home, or Airbnb way of developing solar projects for the mid-market.
That's right. Like, do you need to know if there's a shower or bath in the bathtubs? Like maybe you got a little kid and you need a bathtub, but it's not necessarily clear. And so anyway, just getting like those details sometimes matter. And like, do you require, like, oftentimes what we see in this market is someone's like, hey, we'll pay you $2.50 a watt for this project. Great. And then like, let's go, let's lock together. Let's plan to work on this over the next 60 days. Let's close it. You find out like, all right, and we need bonding, and you actually need these monitors and not those. And your engineering standards, this 5-page stamp package doesn't work. We need 40. And we're going to want you to check in like every 2 days on like how the construction's going. And you may not, like, I don't know if you have the administrative capacity for that, but we need that. And all these things, and then like that 250 becomes like effectively like 225, and it's just super. It's tough. Yeah,
I get it. Yeah, I wish there was one platform that standardized all of this.
we're getting there. We're getting there. We're slowly but surely. Yeah, you can't just all of a sudden make it appear, because you're gonna. I mean, you learn a ton along the way and continue to refine a little bit here and there. And anyways, we're having fun. We're having fun building it and working on it.
Right.